Male dog, hello.
Howdy.
Yes, you are, except for there's some technical difficulties so far. Having to rearrange everybody. Calm down. Don't everybody freak out at the same time.
All right.
Having to rearrange everybody. Calm down. Don't everybody freak out at the same time. Okay, there you go. There we got Aaron Dennis and Kip Vito. Male dog for the. Oh, yeah. You're going to have to mute your YouTube, dude.
Yeah, it's muted.
Okay. Wait, do I have mine muted?
Probably not.
Okay. Anyway. Start over. The male dog gets the gold star. Aaron gets the silver star. Kip Vito gets the bronze star. And, well, Georgia Rebel gets the 10 star. Woohoo.
Do I get a cookie for being on here?
Yeah, you get a cookie.
All right.
We'll use rubber bullets when we're shooting at you.
Yeah, you squishies were cute and adorable right up to the point you figured out how to make firearms.
Yay. The stupid dog. Puppies are so cute when they're in somebody else's house.
So I'm assuming the other people other than you and the missus can hear me, right?
Yes, everybody that's in the chat right now can hear you when you speak.
Lovely.
The only thing that doesn't happen is when I speak through Hangouts, your mic will not broadcast what I'm saying. There he is.
Join.
Trying to get this set up here.
Cool.
Okay, you guys can hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, I just got to get
the only one having trouble making this thing work.
I didn't see it was here. I had to go tend to the kids, get them in bed and stuff, because someone's got to do it. It gets crazy around here. Oh, boy. What a week.
Chipper's talking about stuffing and mounting me and putting me in the corner.
Well, you and me are hunting Sasquatch. We're going to get him in the corner and shoot him.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Yeah, traditionally, that's always worked out well for squishies hunting Sasquatch.
Are you live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
Okay. All of you in the chat, just give me a minute, and I'll turn my keyboard on, and I'll come hang out in there too. Oh boy, I'm all disorganized tonight.
You're disorganized. This I should have just titled it "The Disorganized Live Feed."
Man, I had a moment of joy and sadness today, all at once.
Oh wow!
So, you guys want to hear my woes? My
Sure.
tale of woe? The tale of woe. So, sorry I'm not showing my picture right now. I'm in my Batman PJs. I'm just kidding. I'm not in Batman PJs.
You're in Barbie PJs.
I'm actually in Barbie PJs. Okay, so my tale of woe. So, very sad day. So, I had money put aside for a rainy day. All right. Most folks do that. Well, the truck had transmission problems. This is the update. I had to take the truck in to get the transmission changed because it was that bad. Well, new components later. I'm in a truck that's running 100% better than it did for the past 4 years. So it was a good investment. And then I get to the house and it's stuck in first gear. And I had no idea, and then fluid's coming out of it. And I'm like, oh, come on. So I was really excited on the freeway with it shifting so fantastically. I felt like, I don't know. I was really happy. And then I was really sad. Then Had to take it's like a little kid's school book.
They're like, that
Is that it? That was my telewoe. Sorry, it wasn't that big of a deal, but yeah, the truck had to come and get it, and now it's back at the shop again, and they're having to drop the tranny again.
Oh, wow. So, but they're not going to charge you twice, right?
Oh no, at $2,700 or $2,711 is what I'm out now.
Wow.
That came out of my my nest egg that I had put away.
and credit card.
Shut your face.
Dude,
Don't listen to Sippy.
throw in $300. I could have got you a
Ugh.
brand, another bourbon that,
Oh.
like red, though. Red.
Well,
It's red.
by the time this is done, it's better it happens now than later. I mean, the truck's 30 years old, so I mean, I've changed out gears. Everything underneath has been replaced. The whole bottom end of the truck's been replaced. The only thing I haven't swapped out yet is the motor. So, I mean, we're at the point now of we're almost to paint jobs and stereos. So, I mean, that's good. So we're moving on with our lives now with this whole truck thing. But all of our vehicles are paid for, so
That's good. I got something I got to do before it slips my mind. Daniel, God is my judge. Can you understand me talking right now?
oh my goodness.
That's people making fun of me now. I don't even know if I want to stay in here.
Oh man, everybody's just messing with you.
Yeah. Man, I cop watch my videos and go, what I say?
That's good stuff though.
Ow.
Oh man.
Oh, is he talking? Oh, that's it, Chipper. She did it, dude.
Yeah, it's better. But yeah, I recommend to anyone out there that's got one of those, because I had, back when I was in the military, I had I drove a Jeep and I had payments. I had, a couple of vehicles that had payments, and in the military, you can kind of afford it because you don't really have to worry about if you're going to get another paycheck or, whatever. You've got job security, right? It's called job security. So I wasn't really concerned with getting by and having enough money, and because we were always getting by and having enough money at the time. But now, life for me now is, oh man, the bottom could collapse any day, right? That's the life we live now. But those do get it out there. I mean, we had decided a long while ago to not ever do the whole car payment thing ever again, and we'd buy junkers and used crap, and we'll drive them till the wheels fall off, or if they need some major maintenance, we can take them in. But that would be better than being tied down to a car payment. And I would recommend that to anyone who's definitely going to be a hardcore prepper, to avoid car payments as fast. Do the best you can to avoid a car payment or anything like that. House payment, not a big deal. Mortgage, whatever. That's your home. But don't be tied down to four wheels, right?
And the thing is, you can buy a pretty nice little piece of property for the same price as a baseline pickup truck. That's just crazy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I was looking at trucks. I was like, I was seeing what other people drive, right? Envious. I got a neighbor. He drives this really nice Chevy truck, and I'm like, man, that thing looks gorgeous. I wonder how much those things are. Me and Sippy were driving through a car lot looking at used Suburbans, and I saw some of them there, and I drove up, and I'm like, man, what's the price tag on that? It was like $103,000. Oh, what on earth? 103? $1,000? And that's a truck. It wasn't even all that. It's just a truck.
Oh,
What is it? What makes it so freaking expensive?
I was
I
looking
mean,
at blacked out Dodge pickups or whatever. It's got, I think it's COD edition or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
and I was like, you want 85 for a truck just because
yeah,
the headlights?
85.
I'm like, no.
I mean, like those new Jeeps, man, are just woo, woo, woo. I was looking at used Jeeps. I'm like, holy cow. I mean, I couldn't even sell all of my Jeeps. I mean, all my cars and have enough money to even come close to a down payment. That's just crazy. All right.
Okay.
I think I got this set up.
Creative, did you link it to my video? I am not getting notifications, people. I don't know what's going on. I'm having to go and check to see if I have comments or anything like that. If I'm not replying to your comments or anything, it's not none. Let me let's say I can see my face and maybe tell I'm not lying through my teeth.
I can see. I can't see your.
Well, there's Sasquatch. There's me. Okay. I'm not getting notifications. You know, I'm getting 2 or 3 notifications a day tell me people put videos up, but that's it. I'm not getting any of my comment notifications or anything. So I don't know what I did. Probably just the internet, though.
This thing runs so slow.
All right. Anyway, hello to everybody in the chat. That there's so many of you in here. I have no idea who all it is now. Uncle Al's in here. I saw that. Just stayed in here. Hello, Chipper. Just picking on you. You got me thumped in the ear.
Someone's got the marshmallows.
Yeah. Sippy Cup. Hey, Sippy Cup. And I don't know. I think if I missed you, I'm sorry. You can like yell at me here in a minute, and I'll try to say hi again.
It's how I signal being ready to speak just to the baboons by smacking myself in the head.
He's just doing that. That's why.
I think
we all know that Sasquatches smoke.
I think my computer is taking too long.
Wes addicted to nicotine.
Yeah, the Florence. What Florence? Oh, hurricane. It's gonna turn. It's gonna go north. It's England. As far as it's been raining for 3 days here.
Where's Obi?
Obi? Oh, I don't know. He wants to know where dog is.
Dog's right there. Obi, come here. Come here. Cheesy biscuit. Cheesy biscuit. Come on. Come on.
Just kicking you off.
Well, here. I'll have to put the camera at him.
That is a big dog.
The dog's huge, man.
Oh.
That's one of those dogs.
Now remember, I'm 12 feet tall, so that gives you an idea of how big he is.
He was using me as a chew toy.
Jesus. I had a topic of discussion when I decided to do this thing. I don't really. It's so completely gone now with like little squirrel things. Well, I'm do a quick reminder to everybody. That's what the Creative Redundancy was talking about in the chat. I'm doing a giveaway for, I don't know, however many subscribers I have now. If you comment on the first video you get entered in the drawing. If you do a VR, you get another, so you can get 2 chances to win. And it's coming up. There's 1 more week after next weekend. It'll be over. I'll have to go back and watch my own video because I can't remember the day I said now. And anyway, I'm giving away a bug out bag. That's like I've worked on it some today, getting it put together. I think I can make it all fit in the bag. We'll see. Whoever wins it's going to get a much better bug out bag than I have as far as equipment goes, because mine's all improvised because that's what I know how to use, and I don't want to get shot for my gear. So, yeah, y'all can get shot for your gear if you want to. What else? Oh yeah, and there's actually more stuff to win. There's a first, second, third, and bonus prizes. So just because you don't win the bag doesn't mean you're not going to win something. Okay. There's a shirt. There's one other thing. It's second place. This little knife, wherever it went, is third place, and then mystery is mystery. If you win the bug out bag and pay it forward, you get a handmade item by me. I'll make something and send it to you. On a doily or something. I don't know if you can use a doily. You don't want a doily made by me. I'll just go to Walmart and buy it and tear the Chinese tag off. But I'll make you a knife or a battle club or an axe or something. So
I don't know what's wrong with
I'm done with that now.
I guess I'm just gonna do this one talk because I can't get the computer up.
Right, is the chat keeping up with you or no? The chat will run with you, but the video, the YouTube video is like going to be way behind. I don't know, I'm probably a solid, let me check it real quick, but I bet I'm a solid minute behind.
I don't know. I seem to find that running Hangouts in a separate window, going into it from Google, and then running the YouTube in another window by itself seems to kill most of the lag out.
Yeah, the video lag is 45 seconds on my end. Man, I forgot to, I usually close this because I don't really need to see what happened 45 seconds ago. So, the only thing I keep open is Hangouts, pop out chat, and that's all I keep open, or it's what I try to do anyway. But I remember what the topic was because y'all said that it made me open the thing. It's the meet and greets and stuff that we've all been a party to or whatever. I was going to ask Sasquatch, the Sasquatch specifically, let's say someone is apprehensive about going to one, what are some suggestions from you to them about not being afraid to go to a meetup?
Well, one of the simple things is that all of the meetups are going to be in pretty public places. So you should be moderately concerned about, or moderately, you should your concerns moderated by that. To be blunt, in this day and age, if some super secret, commando reconnaissance surveillance group wants to be following you, they already are. I mean, it's about that simple.
It is.
There's not going to be a bunch of black Escalades out, hanging around with a satellite truck that looks like it's from the corner news station without any logos hanging out. they're not going to be targeting you because you're not doing anything wrong. Now, if you're worried about psycho freaks, you're meeting in a public place. If you're really concerned about it, go with a buddy. Show up, at the assigned time, or maybe a few minutes later if you're really that nervous about it. And don't give away any specific personal data that you're not comfortable with. It's really that simple. Now, if someone's saying, hey, I want you to meet me at mile marker 13 on a highway out in the middle of West Bum, that's probably a bad idea. But if you're going to be meeting at, say, a taco house or a Golden Corral or a public park on a weekend that you know is pretty popular, you should be relatively secure. If you see someone photographing your license plate, that might make you want to scratch your head and ask them what they're doing. But in all honesty, you should be very safe in attending these functions. The guys and gals that are coordinating them, have been instructed, you pick a public place. I love y'all. That doesn't mean I'm going to be inviting y'all to my house until I get to know you. It's that simple. Heck, BA and I liked each other on first meeting. We danced the dance for, what was it, BA? A couple of months?
Yeah, it was several weeks. I mean, we even went shooting together and a few other, went out to eat and shooting, and then finally we said, hey, no more poking around or anything. Let's just go. And you can see my house, I'll see yours.
Yep. And funny enough, we can pretty much see each other's houses from each other's house. So that was just ironic in the core at that point. There are a lot of people, and I don't know if it's left over from the days of the 70s and 80s survivalist movement, or whether or not too many people have been reading Remo Williams books. But the government's got better things to do than to assign a couple of $100,000 worth of man hours and equipment and what have you, just to see if you're going off to say something untoward at a taco house.
Yeah.
Yeah, back in the day, and I know there's some people that are in the community aside from myself who can remember this from running around with the stick jocks and the SCA, but back in the 60s and 70s and the early 80s, the FBI did send people to go to events like that because, there was some concern because the SCA, the Society for Creative Anachronism, a medieval reenactment group, had the unmitigated gall to divide the U.S. up into kingdoms and had a standing militia of guys using rattan swords. That pretty much became a laughingstock moment within the federal security apparatus. And they kept doing it for a while till they were told to stop. But I mean, they were even laughing about it after a while because, look, it's a bunch of people that are getting drunk and beat up on each other with sticks, and dream about living in a Middle Ages period that never happened. Yeah. Does the FBI have people they send to infiltrate groups? Yeah, they do. Do they waste time on groups that are not a threat? No, they don't. So, there you have it. And as far as, again, people that, just people you think that might be crazy, don't talk to them. If you meet them once or twice and all of a sudden you think they got a screw loose, don't be available to talk to them later.
Then why'd you keep talking to us?
Because I love how you guys' screws are loose.
Oh, okay.
Besides, Obi said if I did anything to scare you away, he would eat me in my sleep. So.
Oh, okay.
I got a picture. She was laying in the floor playing with Obi, and I took a picture. That dog's flipping huge, man. I just can't get over it. I know nobody cares how big your dog is, but seriously, guys, the dog's big, he's bigger. But that dog's huge. And dog ain't no slouch either.
No. His dog is huge.
Went from one standard poodle to another standard poodle. I'm like, Well, hello. My dog's a midget. I've been feeding her twice a day. She's getting fat. She's catching up. She's not getting any taller, but she's getting fatter. I don't want to be the guy with the littlest dog. I was
My
gonna get
dog's
I was gonna get
my
a new
dog.
puppy, but I wound up with this thing instead.
My dog's good house security. He keeps
Yeah.
everybody away that we have to. He has to sniff check them, or I mean, heck, it even takes a couple of days to even warm up sometimes to people. But
Yeah, it took him long enough to
after
want.
he knows you, once he knows you, then you're good.
Obi's much the same. If he's decided you're okay, then you're part of the pack.
There for a second, I thought I was fixing to be singing tenor for a long time.
He was just checking you. That's how they say hello, remember?
Uh-huh. Howdy.
Your dog has chewed on me and licked me, like literally licked my leg, like almost licked the skin off my leg. He was trying to remove my tattoo on my leg.
He thought you were dirty. He was just trying to be helpful.
Like, blueberry, my favorite flavor.
I was like, I'm not making any sudden movements. He's probably prepping me to eat me, but I'm just going to stay still.
Every time I make new ink, he spends about a month and a half after it heals trying to lick the dirt off me.
We got beat tenderizer. Do I? Oh, hold on a minute. Just Aid. Are you asking us how that works for you on the meeting and stuff? Get a tourist visa. Come see me and then just don't go home.
The meeting and stuff's really cool. I enjoyed the other one, and I've got the other one written on the calendar to go to, and I still have to. I didn't get a chance to sit down with Sasquatch today because of current events. I didn't think I was going to be running all the way back and forth from Johnson City today, but that's how I spent my day, and I didn't enjoy it. I was hoping to be able to make a video and do all sorts of stuff today, but nothing really panned out for me. But the next meet should be a lot of fun, and probably have maybe come up with a topic for that. I got a lot of topics in my head. I don't know which ones are appropriate, because you know how people on the internet freak out over certain topic. They don't like to discuss them because they're some are sensitive, right? Some topics are sensitive. They don't want to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even talk about a topic like that? Because it's important. You know, it's lately I've been watching a lot of folks discuss ill-prepared folks. You know, discussing folks that you know, referring to things as like you've got people that have done time in prison. You've got people that have seen stuff that unusual things, like you know, people that have committed murder, people that have done this, people have done that, and they call them like the wolves of society. And I mean, that is something to discuss, but you know, comparing wolves of society to folks that have excuse me, there we go. I popped that up there. All right. Wolves of society that are going to prey on the ones that are living in inner city areas that have never done anything of the sort. I mean, even been in a fist fight or shot a firearm or things like that. They're going to be easy, soft targets for folks that, and that's how they're going to spend their days in the beginning of a post-collapse, is hunting down those that are soft targets and easy to prey upon. And then eventually those are going to run out. And then they're going to start getting to the ones like us, right? Eventually they'll rob and steal and do everything they need to do until they get to people that are prepared.
And that's a real. That's why the group thing is so important, is because, groups are going to form after the deal, and they're going to form for the purpose of getting what they didn't have. They're going to be, I know I talk about The Walking Dead too much, but there's going to be, every group that's been portrayed in there is going to be out there in a major full-blown collapse. It's literally going to be like that. Even when they showed the dogs running out of the bushes, all these nice little cuddly puppies run out of the bushes, and they didn't start wagging their tail. They turned and started growling. They had been hunted by humans for how long now? And then they see humans in a weak state. Those dogs saw food. People are going to be killed by packs of wild dogs very early on in this mess.
Wes?
Say again?
Wes, my grandfather taught me an important lesson about packs of wild dogs when I was a younger guy, before I went off to go to some crazy place to do stupid things. He said, basically, if you see a wild dog and you're by yourself and you're out in the bush, shoot it.
Yeah, shoot it.
Don't even think about anything. Don't sit there and think about nice doggy, or just go, oh, it's a feral dog, it'll be okay. He said, basically, you shoot them on sight, because a pack of feral dogs can drop a well-armed and well-trained man in 30 seconds or less. And when I mean drop, I mean you're dead on the ground bleeding out.
Because they're not playing anymore. They're not trying to grab your arm and drag you to the ground. They're going to
kill you and eat you.
They're going to kill you and eat you, your food. They had a real problem. Remember back in the mid 70s all the way up to the early 80s, they started having to slaughter dogs in Hawaii because they were killing and eating people. That's not that long ago. Nope. People are, that's 40 years ago. That was in the modern age. People were just, not taking care of, and dogs do run away. People throw dogs out. We still get stray dogs around here all the time. But it's important. And just that you asked a question earlier. I don't know how you go about meeting preppers on your island, dude. But you'd think it'd be the same way you did it here.
Well, whatever group chats he's in the UK, I know he spends a lot of time with us, but the folks that are in the UK are definitely the folks he should be conversating with and trying to meet up with.
There's a couple of good names over there. I don't know if Just Aid has tracked any of these guys beforehand, but you still have the Funky Prepper is active in the UK. I don't know if Armored Cockroach is still active. I haven't seen him release a video in quite some time. Armored Cockroach doesn't hide the fact he's ex-regiment. I got to hang out and do cool things with Lofty Wiseman and other notorieties and notoriety, or notable great people in that community over there. There is also the UK Bushcraft Forum, which is a good place to start. And there's a lot of excellent bushcraft and survival schools that are scattered across the English Isles, all the way from, even further south than I was in old Smoke, London town, but all the way up to the extreme north bits of Scotland from the last time I checked. So there is quite a community over there. It may take a little effort to get yourself plugged in over there, but there are a lot of good men and women that are involved with bushcrafting or survival over there. Yeah,
there's a couple of channels that I follow from over there, and thanks for stopping by, Dad. See you on the next go around. Hold on, we got something.
Just about got this.
Hello, Spencer. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, the chat's like flying super fast.
I think
For
you
me,
can,
I mean, it's more than one word a minute.
I think you can slow it down. You can you can put it in slow mode if you have to.
Well, it's just whenever I talk, I look at the stupid blue light up here, and then I can't see what's going on over there. I need new eyeballs in case anybody wants to, like, pay for a
I'm
clone.
trying to get my computer up right now. I'm just now got it going into the internet. It's been warming up this whole time.
Oh wow! Yeah, I found out the desktop I bought is basically they took a laptop and put it inside a big box and sold it to me as a desktop. It's a freaking laptop. It's so annoying. It's the same thing as their laptop. It's the same parts, everything. Instead of laying down, it stands up. That's the only difference. So annoyed right now. But because, well, I don't know, the new laptops they've got a lot of brains and stuff, but you got to worry about the battery going bad, blah 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 blah. But
That's why I like old desktops, Wes. Even a numpty like me can tear them apart and fix them.
yep, man. If I could, I've got a perfectly good desktop over there. If I hadn't messed around and tried to go back from, if you go to Windows 10, do not listen to them. You cannot go back to 7. It will crash.
Not without completely wiping your hard drive.
Nope.
Is Sippy in the chat?
Sippy's in the chat.
Okay, good. Well, at least she's conversating with the folks that are commenting. It's going to take this thing a whole century to get loaded up. I guess this is like a very discounted, cheap laptop that I got my hands on, and I thought it would be a good idea, but it's not so good idea.
Yeah, I have to confess, my desktop was. We walked in, we were going to buy one, and there was one over there that said clearance. And come on, I was like, it's a desktop for $180. We'll take that one. Oh, that's my bad. But hey, I got back on here. Da, da, da. I'm not throwing that thing away because there are 7 years of my grandkids' pictures and videos and everything on that. There's got to be some way to get it off of that hard drive.
Yeah.
I don't know, because you won't. I don't know. Okay, I don't know what that was, but it scared me. Was that it? Who's got the elephant? Who has a pet elephant?
That was just my joints creaking.
Oh, okay.
Who can afford a Chromebook?
Yeah, who's got the money for a Chromebook? I'll send you my PayPal link.
No, if you keep an eye out, I've got a buddy who excels at finding those things for like $100 or less on sale in stores.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Right now, we're in the market for some of those convert your .22 rifle into BB gun bullets. Apparently, we're going to have to order them online. I've been to every gun store in this town today, man. Ain't nobody got any. They got a bunch of bullets. If I'd had the money, I could have come home with about 4,000 rounds of 7.62 by 39. They just had stacks of the spam cans, man. I'm just like, oh.
I know what I want for Christmas.
Yeah. You know, the only thing I thought, if I had those here, my boy would find out about it, and him and that AK would think it was time to go play. I would have to like bury him somewhere. Him and me both.
Where are spam cans?
Spam cans is 640 rounds in a military. They're military surplus ammunition. It comes down to 30 cents a round. Later, Spencer. Thanks for coming by, dude. And that's a high price. You used to be able to pick them up for right at $100, and which made them really reasonable. But then they did that 22 bullet thing, and then you couldn't get them anymore. And then now you can get them again, but instead of being $100 a spam can, they're 189 or 99 or 210, depending on which store you go to. You can order them online a little cheaper, but you have to get them sent through a dealer dude or whatever, and then it comes out the same price. So, but still, 31 cents a round for 7.62 by 39 makes it real reasonable. And you can get spam cans for the Nagant too. You can get, I think those are only 440 rounds.
440, 540, one of the two.
And because they take up more space. I really don't want to shoot that many of the 59s because those things will rip your shoulder out. My Nagant, I mean, I can put 6 rounds down range, and I'm going, wow, these guys shot these all day long at each other.
Well, you can put this nice substance known as rubber on the end of that buttstock.
There's one on there now. Trust me. We had a bruised shoulder with me and my 2 sons that from went out and we put 20 or 30 rounds down range on that gun right after I got it. We actually had 2 of them, and yeah, we were bruised. We never expected that gun or those gun rifles to kick the way they do. But they got the barrels are chrome on the ones we got. So seriously, the recoil is harsh. I didn't even know they chromed the barrels on those old things. Or mine, no, one of them was chromed, one of them wasn't.
I don't know what is that? You want to get off?
Bows.
Oh, sorry, Wes.
Somebody was asking where I saw the ammo. I said G-bows. A lot of people don't realize that your G-bows, your farm supply store, G-bows, has a huge ammo department. They've got
guns. Who knew?
Yeah, they got guns too. They have. If I can ever quit spending all my lunch money on other things, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna buy me a pistol because they got the cheapest pistols in town too. Hey, look, Rob snuck in.
Mr. Painless.
He won my drawing.
Yep.
It's a lucky man.
Hey, Rob, I have your
Not the YouTube drawing, everyone. Everyone's going to freak out. No.
The Patreon drawing.
Yeah, he won the Patreon drawing. Bearded Viking Axe. Proud owner.
This is true, Palmetto Paratrooper, but I have, well, in our little group, we have 2 SKS, 1 AK, and 3 ARs. The ARs will shoot either 5.56 or 2.23, but this is not true with the SKS or the ARs or the AKs. They require the 39, and we don't plan on grabbing ammo and running around either. We're not tactical preppers. We're gonna have one guy sitting in the church tower, and if somebody gets too close, they're gonna ring a bell. We're all gonna grab our guns. We're gonna go find out what's going on, and then go back to life.
You can get quite a bit of ammo for 7.62 by 39 at any old place. I mean, that stuff's cheap.
Yeah,
so for what it does, it's affordable.
Yeah, Toll Ammo has I get 40. I think I get 40 rounds of hollow points for $11 for the.
Back when I got my AK, I invested in some spam cans.
Thanks, guys.
I went ahead and picked up a few spam cans during that time because they were cheap, affordable, and hell, they don't go bad. I mean, they're in a spam can, they're sealed. As long as you leave them in there, they'll be all right. Um, Same with the Moise and the Gaunt. That for those folks out there that collected those are great hunting rifles.
That's what I got mine for. You put the I bought some aftermarket ammo. Their soft tip. Their instead of hollow points, or the soft lead tips or whatever.
Yeah,
They make an exit wound. Mr. Oinky Oinky stops moving. It's amazing.
man, I want to put. The Mosin Nagant that I just built is so clean and rebuilt because I reblued the whole thing. I stripped it, blued it, refinished the wood, put everything back together. It's got decent, really decent high end parts in it. So I mean, it's not one of these crazy Mosin Nagants out there that it's been butchered, hacked, and it's got some lopsided scope mounted to it or anything like that. It's just a Mosin Nagant, man. With a bayonet on the end if I need it. Fold out bayonet. It's it's just designed to be rough with it, throw it around, toss it. If I need to chunk it in the truck bed, I'm on the run. I ain't got to worry about pieces breaking. But I want to actually reload some decent ammo for it. Some really get some decent brass and reload some decent ammo for it for when I really need it to make a decent shot instead of shooting those steel cases and stuff that I've got. That
Yeah.
corrosive ammo, you can't hunt with the corrosive stuff. You got to get some of that more modern stuff to shoot. So
You can hunt with the corrosive stuff. I mean, just you got to be aware that after you shoot your gun, you got to go home and clean it if it's 1 or 100 rounds. And they're all of them are well, except for the Russian, the 37.60 by 39. They actually sell military surplus ammo that's the soft tips, and that stuff's pretty amazing ammunition, honestly. I
for
think
those people out there, if you guys are hunting for some ammo and you don't know a place to look, and you're one of those folks that shop at Walmart, I never go do stuff like that. I usually go to Gunbot. You can go to Ammo Seek, but if you go to Gunbot, the website, it's just you just type in Gunbot and search, and it comes right up. But if you click in that, you can click reloading supplies. You can click gunpowders, primers, brass. And if you're not a reloader and you just want to buy bullet, you click in if you want pistol, shotgun, or rifle, and they have every caliber. And what it does is it takes you through a list of everything on the internet, and it's got the lowest prices listed there, and the ones in red is the cheapest you can find. So say you're looking for 7.62 by 54R, and you type that in, you're looking for spam cans. It'll come up on the list and it'll show you the cheapest by bullet cents wise, how much you're going to spend on that. And man, it's fast. I mean, most places that you order from, it's fast deliveries. They'll send you a nice little box to your doorstep. Um, but that's like the best place to look if you're looking for certain particular ammos. Ammo, and you can't find it at your local gun shops and stuff, or you don't want to pay the crazy bizarro tax, or um, you don't want to deal with uh, you don't want to deal with paying the gun shop that extra money that he spent getting it into his shop for whatever reason.
I've got a friend up the road that's how he makes his living is reloading ammo. I mean, he spends all day reloading ammo and goes to gun shows.
Yep.
And sells ammo. They buy
I
him.
knew a guy did that. It's good money. It's good money. I mean,
If you get a good reputation doing it, yeah.
oh yes, definitely. You got to have a good reputation. I knew a guy though that did it, and he branded his stuff with a label. And anytime I saw the label, I knew it was good stuff, and I didn't have to worry about double charges or anything like that. Going to blow my firearm up or squib loads or anything. But it's really affordable stuff. And if you're looking for brass, you can go, for those of you that want to reload, you go to brassmanbrass.com, and he's got the cheapest stuff out there, Brassman Brass. But you can, if you're looking for exotic stuff too, because that's where I get 50AE brass, which is really hard to find in most places, and it costs you an arm and a leg for. I have to reload 50AE ammo because you only get like 20 rounds for a ridiculous price. It's outrageous. I can't afford to buy that, so I buy all my bullets in bulk and reload. It's cheaper. And the people that are going to ask how much per bullet kind of stuff, I get that question a lot. You need to download an ammo calculator. You just go into the app store and get yourself an ammo calculator, and you go and you find, well, what powder are you going to buy? Okay, well, I'm going to buy this Winchester powder. It's this much is how much it costs, and that's how much I'm getting is a pound. And how much brass do I need? I need this much brass, and I need like 100 pieces of brass. You're going to load 100 rounds. And then, well, how many primers you need? You need 100 primers. So basically, it calculates the bullets, powder, how many grains of powder do you use per round. So you calculate the load data into the app, and it'll calculate how much you're spending per bullet. And that'll give you your price, and that'll tell you how much money you're saving. That's usually what I use, is that. And then it's really surprising to see it's like half the price to reload 9mm versus buying it, or it's like, it's literally half the price reloading 50 BMG. It's literally half the price. So whatever BMG's priced at, slice that in half, and that's how much it is reloading it. That's how much you're going to spend. Shotgun is endless. I mean, dude, you save tons reloading your own shotgun. That's a major haul. If you get a shotgun reloader, a reload all two, and you're reloading your own shells, that is a haul. Man, you are saving so much buck. Because I mean, five slugs for how much have you priced 5 slugs for? Any of you guys? On average, 5 slugs in a box.
They're not cheap
It's pretty
anymore.
outrageous, isn't it? It's like, I mean, it's more than $1 a round.
Oh yeah, I bought some 20 gauge slugs and they were like $2.50 a round.
I have a 1 ounce slug mold. I mold my own slugs from lead, and so I mean, I can gather up lead from all over the place, make some ingots, melt them down when I need them, and make my slugs.
Oh, I might have
then,
a source for you, by the way.
Huh?
I might have a source for you, by the way, on that. I'm sorry, you mentioning that just reminded me. I apologize.
Yeah.
But one of your viewers actually has a line on that.
I need lead. I try to get lead from whoever's got it. I remember one fella said he works in the plumbing department, and he's got a lot of lead from something to do with plumbing. I have no idea what he's talking about, but because I'm not an expert in plumbing, but apparently he has access to a lot of lead, but he never got back to me. But man, if I could get my hands, I think that was Chad said that. But if I can get my hands on enough lead, I've got double op buck molds. I can make my own double op buck. I can make my own slugs, and I mean I can order a mold to do different types of shot if I wanted to, but I can sit and reload that stuff all day long and not have to pay for the price of the lead or the bullet. The projectiles. I'm paying for wads. I might buy wads, and that's like $10 a giant bag. I mean, it's like 500 wads or something like that. or 1,000 wads. You know, some places sell them by 1,000. I can get hulls for free. You know, shotgun shell hulls. You know, and I go and I just pick them up. People just leave them on the ground. I throw them in trash bags and bring them home.
I just thought of something. This is not something that I've tried, but it is something I have every intention of trying Monday now. The places that do the recycling, where you know, the place you take your aluminum cans to, the place you take your old refrigerator to, the place you take your scrap metal to. The one here you can go in and you can buy scrap metal back. They'll you know, like they pay somebody 50 cents a pound for it. They'll sell it to you for $1 a pound. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's not, but I'm going to go Monday and find out if I can go in there, and because they get lead all the time, and you're buying it just above scrap iron prices. They'll sell it to you for what they're going to get it at market. That's
Yep.
So that would be a really good idea.
Lead's a hot commodity, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be as precious as gold in SHTF. If you've got, I mean, I don't care if you're the guy that's if you're making muzzle loading shotgun shells. If you're doing muzzle loading shells, you can do the same thing. I mean, it's powder consistency is a lot higher. I mean, for me, like average powder consistency for smokeless powders, like 34 grains. You're going to be adding upwards of 100 grains of something for a muzzle loading type shotgun shell. It's going to be a lot different for black powder, because black powder is going to require a little bit more. But making, I mean, reloading slugs, I mean, you're looking at like maybe 15 cents a round. 15 cents a round, or maybe 20 cents a round, just depending, for shotgun shells, versus what you would have spent, you know, $1.50 a slug. Instead of $1.50 a slug, I'd much rather be paying 15 cents to 25 cents ish, depending on what style powder I use and primer. You know, primer cost goes up and down, but that's what I'm looking at.
And then you can either sit around and reload your ammo and keep your hands and your mind busy, or you can watch YouTube videos. Which one gets you more? I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, why are y'all people here? Y'all could be out reloading my ammunition for me. I mean, reloading ammo.
They're trying to help monetize you, Wes. They're trying to help monetize.
I think I screwed up my doohickey. I got a phone call into them. They gave me to another phone number, and then they gave me another phone number, and then, well, it was closed already. And now I got.
Next, you were talking to somebody who was telling you were related to a Nigerian prince, right?
It was getting ridiculous. The last person, well, when they gave me the phone number, they said, call this and they can hook you up. And I called it. This is not live, man. I'm busted out. I called it. Ring, ring, ring. For such and such dial, you know, poke this number. I'll poke the number. I'm like, if you would like to speak with a representative, you will need to call back between the hours of bleep and bleep, because we closed 1 minute ago, stupid. I was like, I mean, they transferred me until they got me to a department that was closed. And that's what you get when you call somebody and all you get is people with accent. Do they not hire anybody for customer service on a phone that was born here?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just nothing against immigrants, as long as they're legal. But
they're hard to understand.
Hard to understand. And if you can't understand them, they can't understand you. Because when I asked him something outside of what she had been trained, her conditioned responses were supposed to be, she was just like, I don't know. And she kept trying to get me to let her help me resolve an issue that I wasn't having. I was like, no, I don't want to pay you. I want y'all to, because I think I put the wrong account number in. And now it won't let me do anything else. I need y'all to fix this. I'm just going to leave it alone. So
what's this for your YouTube?
Yeah, for the YouTube, the ad,
yeah,
whatever thingamajigger. But because I did it before I didn't know I had to wait before they did the 1,000 people thing or whatever. And I'm not sure whether I used Bank A or Bank B. We closed Bank A. So now there's only Bank B. And if it's the thing says they can run ads on my YouTube videos from now on and not have to pay me because they don't have access to Bank B. So,
you can delete that other bank.
Yeah, if I can. I've tried to get on there. I can't work. I mean, I have no technical savvy boy at all.
Yeah, you got to get into ad scenes, and then at the top of the screen, you go to the right-hand side and click that, and you can. It'll go into manage accounts, and you can manage your accounts from there.
Yeah, I went all the way through that, but it was like it was wanting me to delete my whole Google account. I'm like, no.
No, you shouldn't have to do all that.
That's when I was like, oh, phone number.
Well, if you get in too much trouble with it, just give me a call and I'll help you get through it.
Because it said maybe up to a minute or whatever. So I said, well, let's see how fast this happens. So, I put my call-in back number in, or type my call-in number in there, and sitting there I looked up. I said, okay, sometime tonight they're going to ring. My phone went off. I'm like, whoa. I answered it, and it said, push 1 for a real person. Hello. Real person.
Hello.
I about fell out of my chair, dude. And then she didn't know what I was talking about.
Wes, these are the problems you get when you bank with a Russian bank.
It's not Russian. No collusion. Hold on, let me check my notes. No collusion.
I don't know. They were talking about you at the DNC meeting, man.
No. That's so stupid. I mean, it went from Russia, whatever interfered with, to collusion to now let's just bust him for anything we can so we can cripple his White House so we can take it over and yada, yada, yada. People that are listening to Fox News, anybody that watches Fox News, seriously, you really think those people are telling the truth? Seriously.
Did you hear Twitter deleted Alex Jones's account? I thought that was crazy.
Hey,
It's all over the news now. They've deleted him from just about every type of account there is in social media now.
That brings up a good point, though, actually. I don't know if any of you all caught Pastor Fox's post today. But
I watched it.
The censorship issues, we're going to need to all collectively kind of keep an eye out now, because I've been noticing what he mentioned on one of his posts today for the last couple of days, and that is, I'll go and look at somebody's YouTube. It's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. That's interesting. And, you watch all the way through that, and maybe you click the like, maybe you click the comment or whatever, and you scroll down there and you see, oh, they got like 4 comments, except none of those comments are there. So they've started to actively censor.
I've been seeing that too. A lot of people's comments are disappearing. And usually it's stuff like I have to go. One thing, I didn't tell him to do this, but if you go into like approved comments, there's so many comments in there that people have put on SOS that there's nothing wrong with the comment, and I don't know why it's in the approved block. Why do I have to approve great video? I love what you're doing, or something like. There's nothing wrong with these comments. They're great comments, but they're sitting in my approved box. So I've got to sit and approve all of them.
I found 70-something comments over there the other day.
People are gonna think you're deleting a comment, and you're not. It's just sitting in the approved box somewhere, and I've got to go approve it.
And Pastor Joe mentioned that's not just happening on YouTube. That's happening on Patreon and other forums. And Palmetto's brought up a good point in the comments there. He says, the only way we can get around that censorship is to pay a couple bucks a year and own your own .com site. That's accurate to a degree, and that will probably work for a number of people if they choose to go that route. But we're already having reports of then people having that type of access and all of a sudden getting shut down anyway because MasterCard all of a sudden says they're not going to support anyone that supports you in that site. At which point, you may have a .com address, but no one can get to it because your hosting agency has decided you're a poo-poo head. So, you'll have to end up spending a couple more bucks and probably getting your own servers and we might need to, as a community, start considering having people saving their old workstations and start housing, little servers at their homes and, taking a step almost all the way back to the old BBS days. Something to consider.
I've heard stories of people that were trying to purchase a firearm and their card never worked. They couldn't buy a firearm from a gun shop because it was showing up gun shop whatever and wasn't letting them make the purchase.
I had a friend the other day, he tried to buy a gun, and when they said, and the total will be blah, 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 he pulled money out of his wallet and wouldn't let him buy it. They wanted a credit card or something. They wouldn't let him pay cash. What kind of crap is that? I mean, why does your gun purchase have to be connected to your credit card number? I mean, they already got your name and stuff.
That's when you just go behind Walmart parking lot and meet a guy named Hector, and he pops the trunk.
Yeah, I know a couple of those guys.
I'm just messing with you. I don't know a guy named Hector. His name's Carlos, actually. I'm just kidding.
And for the record, and all the minions and drones of the No Such Agency who are listening at this point, Staff Sergeant Badass is committing satire.
Yeah, satire. We're being funny. Grow a sense of humor.
Yeah, I'm just joking.
Just joking. His name's Juan.
I like to.
My corner, just out of camera range, really nervous. At which point he's going to pop me in the head in this.
Who's Wetwin? Later, Double Frog, Uncle L, whichever you're so. There's too many people with different names. Oh, High Desert's in here. I started to invite him into the chat and just let y'all talk, and then just sit over here in the corner and be like, "Oh, this guy got on a go last night, and he ran for 4 hours." And it's I haven't got to watch it all because my internet was down today, but he got some pretty good stuff in there. He's perfectly fine though. No tinfoil hat stuff there at all. Honestly, he's kind of scary. Victor, yeah. You know Victor too, HCP? Don't say his name out loud though. He doesn't like that.
You mean Victor the Cleaner?
Victor, the guy with a big basement.
Oh, Victor the Cleaner from Leone.
See my Walmart parking lot. His name is Victor.
I have a new very important EDC item now that I carry around with me thanks to Sippy Cup. It's all her fault. I'm having one of those Pastor Joe Fox moments. But she gave me a Kool-Aid liquid. It squirts. It's like you squirt it in your drink and mix it. And it's tiny. And I carry it around with me now because I have these random cravings for Kool-Aid. I don't know what's wrong with me. I still have to get checked out by the VA sometime at the end of this month. I don't know. I think something's wrong with me.
You're not supposed to drink the Kool-Aid, man. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
A whole case of it.
Have you been getting your daily requirement of crayons?
Crayons and Kool-Aid, man.
Hey, if you are, you should be perfectly good to go, man. Maybe guns stolen from you. I don't know.
I'm still not sure how much I'm supposed to squirt in these things. Whatever.
It's
as long as it tastes like Kool-Aid.
It's an addictive, it's an addictive artificial sweetener. But just for the record, folks, history, whatever, what do you call them? Archaeologists or whatever. What are you, a hobbyist of, Robert Painless? What is it? Anyway, Indians didn't drink water all the time. They drank mostly tea.
That was the archaeologist West.
But watermelon Kool-Aid. Anyway, they drank they got just as tired of drinking straight water as we did, so they made teas out of it, They just put stuff in the tea that made it better for you, as opposed to us. We import our tea from some foreign country somewhere and then dump a whole bunch of sugar in it. And there you go.
I'd rather drink green tea or a nice Earl Grey from somewhere far away than drink yak butter tea, okay?
Yak butter tea? What in the world is that?
That's one of the other versions of tea that people do in various places. Butter tea.
Oh,
tea
no.
made with butter.
They do that.
Some people do it with rancid butter tea.
Okay, yeah, pine needle tea. I like pine needle tea. It's actually pretty good. Or clover tea is really good.
Chrysanthemum.
You can do just about anything, just something to add a little bit of flavor to it. Yeah, yak butter tea. That don't even sound good, does it, Rob?
It is.
Why would you? Who come up with the idea of milking a yak to begin with? I mean, seriously.
Use the resources you got.
So I'm guessing somebody has the job of milking the water buffalo. That person is courageous.
Yeah, they better be good on their visual identification so they don't go trying to milk the bull.
There's that. I'm not a trophy hunter kind of guy, but that's one animal I've always wanted to take down was a water buffalo because they're flipping huge. Daniel's leaving. All right, Daniel, have a good day. Good luck on the herd of goats and stuff. Yeah.
Herding the goats.
Yeah, he's got two funny looking goats that hang outside his property line just a little tiny bit. Or I think they're on his property or whatever.
What he does in the privacy of his own property is really none of our concern.
We should.
Oh, man.
What we're missing. How long do you think it will be before they apply 72 gender identities nonsense to animals too?
Tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow,
I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Actually, what I'm looking forward to is since evidently on the Pacific coast now you can choose your gender on a day-to-day basis. I'm kind of curious when you can start choosing your race.
Ooh. On
Like,
the first,
I feel
on the
like
first
I'm an Aleutian Indian.
and that's kind of messed up.
Mhm.
But you're why don't they just, if they want to end all this, I have just come up with the perfect plan for racial equality. They shall no longer be allowed to tag people based on their ethnicity, their skin color, or their national origin.
Oh, you mean kind of like how we were supposed to be under the Constitutional Republic in the first place?
Yeah, there's no African Americans, Latin Americans, Asian Americans, or white
German Americans.
or German Americans, or Irish Americans, or Native Americans. Well, I guess we got to leave those alone because they're like their own nation. But
Well, hang on. Are you talking the actual First Nations people, or are you talking Elizabeth Warren?
that's funny. First Nations people.
All right.
Good night, Savage. Before I get stabbed for not telling you goodbye, have a good night, brother.
Thanks, Savage.
But yeah, anyway, you're either an American or you're not. It was a rain day today. I went to Walmart. Nobody was at work, so they all took their Friday and went to Walmart.
You guys get days off for rain?
Around here, they do. They do. I mean, it's me either walk around in knee-high mud or stay home. So I chose to stay home. But anyway, it's they got to quit using words like minority. The end.
Yeah, where's my free EBT card for being a xeno-human,
Yeah.
Like Sasquatch. I should be like getting free medical care and a chauffeur and spare baby mamas issued twice a week and I don't know what else. Cheetos for free.
Cheetos for free. Oh, can you do that? Can you get
I
Cheetos?
want my free freaking Cheetos.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. It's getting dangerous on this one, but it's ridiculous. It really is.
It might be dangerous for you two white guys, but considering a representative of Her Majesty's government looked at me and told me I wasn't white, I was just simply other. That it's okay for me because evidently I'm an unspecified minority.
Yeah. I like the other body. That's what I always check is other. And then I found out that they pretty much just made you Asian.
Well, now in Her Majesty's land, there seems to be, and Just Age should be able to back me up, but I seem to recall there was like 12 little check boxes for what type of white you were, right? Well, if you were a filthy colonial like I was, technically, you were white other, which is the 12th box, the very bottom of the bottom. And then I dealt with some really cross, probably hadn't had his cup of tea at civil servant who, because of a whole comedy of various things, took a look at the rest of my family and said, "Oh, well, you're not white. Guess we're just going to put you down as other, mate. Have a nice day." Like,
Yeah, and I don't get that. I mean, we did the whole genealogy thing and everything, and I could go get my Indian card and I could drag my little monthly check or whatever from all them gambling establishments. I don't know, maybe I should have, but why do I need a card? Why does my race pay money? I mean, I just want to be American.
no race pays me money. I'm too slow.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. On ACP said these are just communist tactics to divide everyone. And he really is onto something. Well, I don't know if it's communist or if it's just a days, but honestly, race wasn't that big a thing when I was growing up. Back in the 70s, when I was a young adult, it didn't matter. I don't know what's going on. Everybody makes it sound like the 70s and the 80s were this horrible time to be black or whatever, and I don't remember that.
Well, a lot of the music was bad.
Who? Later, Guns. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. There was problems, and people were still at each other over it. Some, but not here in Texas so much. But then it's about, right around, dare I say, September 1st of a specific year, it started getting bad again. And people that were my friends forever didn't want to be my friends anymore. And I hadn't changed. Just what they were saying on the news changed. Explain that to me. People that had gone fishing with me, people that had been at my house, people that I had been at their house on numerous occasions. We all of a sudden, we couldn't be friends anymore because we were different color. Why? And it all boils down, it's nothing more than the news. The news took stuff that was specific to a location that didn't have anything to do with race, but rather economic difficulties, and turned it into a race thing and said that because this side of the country, which wasn't suffering from the economic deal, who happened to be more white than the part of the country that was suffering from the economic difficulties, were oppressing the people that were poor because they were black. And that's not what happened. We allowed free trade. We allowed free trade to get signed into law. We allowed our factories to go to Taiwan, China, Mexico, South America. We allowed our manufacturing jobs to leave the country for what do they call it? A service economic. economy. A service
economy, which was about the political science equivalent of a nation committing suicide.
Exactly. I mean, if a gross domestic product, I got to slow down now, guys. I'm starting to study. A gross domestic product should be based on what the country produces, not on how much it spends, but on rather how much is spent within it on the stuff produced within it. When we grow our own cotton, we as a country are producing something. When we make our own cars, we as a country are producing something. When we make our own steel, we as a country are producing something. When we make our own plastic bottles, we as a country are producing something. When we make our own clothing, we as a country are producing something. We are no longer producing anything. There are no manufacturing jobs in this country.
We make YouTube videos.
Well, there's that. I guess, this pay is good. So almost just exactly tactical. I mean, I've done these videos and deleted them I don't know how many times because I don't want everybody thinking I'm this nut job, but put on your hats because here it comes. Since prior to, it's not the same people, they're not still alive, okay? I'm not that. But prior to the Civil War, a group of people figured out that they could change this country and that their families could come out the wealthiest, most powerful people in the world using this country. And they have been systematically taking over politically and economically for over a century. They got to a point, thanks to a World War I and a Civil War, World War I, World War II, and then the Korean and the Vietnam deals. They got to a point where they could do whatever they wanted to economically. Now, the only thing they need to do, and I'm serious, this is my biggest fear. The only thing they need to do now to make this work for them is to get rid of some of the population. And by some, I mean a lot of us. If you have everything, you don't want to share any of it with anybody, then you get rid of them. That is the agenda. And they can't appear to be the bad guy. They have to allow us to take ourselves out. I fully believe in the them and the they. There's no doubt in my mind. I was played for the first 40 years of my life. I bought into the thing lock, stock, and barrel. I fully believe that Trump was not supposed to win the election. It threw a big monkey wrench in everything they were planning to do. But I don't think it stopped anything. It just changed their tactics, and it's going to keep going. But they want everybody in the cities. They want all the farms. They want all the tillable ground, if you will, the big chunks of it. They want it in the possession of corporate banks. They want to be able to take it using the financial institutions and make it government farm. Because they've got to step in because nobody's getting to eat. Nobody can afford to farm. Nobody can do this. Nobody can do that. It's going to become impossible to eat if you don't do something for yourself. And I'm going to step back now and breathe. And Yeah, I mean, I'm that crazy. I don't fear our government. Our government ain't nothing but a bunch of little Muppets. I mean, if you could X-ray, if we were Superman and we could use X-ray vision, you would see a hand stuck right up all of them, moving their arms and legs in their mouth.
The term for that, Wes, is meat puppet.
Yep, I mean, just straight up. I mean, we will never know the names of the people that are doing this. We will never see them. They will never know any of it. I can go ahead and go religious on y'all and put a name on him, but it is anti somebody, and that's the way it's got to go for him to work it right. I mean, since when did right and wrong? I mean, wrong became wrong, and wrong became right, and right became wrong. We've done that in 10 years. And my wife just reminded me that I was going to stop yakking. So,
Hey, Wes, just to add a little extra ray of sunshine on that line of thought you were going on. If you want to take it all religious based, you got to remember that our fine, wonderful constitutional republic is not mentioned in the last book, or there is one small chance where we may have been mentioned in a minor comment. But so with that premise, that means we have to, as a nation, have to be kicked to the curb before that last book plays out.
Yeah, we can't. We're not even going to be we're not in the game.
Except perhaps where it says the eagle will effectively guard the remnant for a period of time.
For a period of time. And how long is that period of time? And are we the eagle or are we the buzzards? The Revelations is scary to me. I used to spend a lot of time, and I try to stay out of it now. But yeah, it's a big deal. All this in a nutshell, food. You need. Hold on, I'm gonna turn my camera on for this one. You need food. You need to have enough food to where you can eat. You can eat without going to the grocery store for a year. Even if the grocery store is open and you get your little card that you go in and you swipe and they give you your week's worth of beans and rice or whatever. You want to have your other stuff because sooner or later your card's not going to work and you're not going to get any food.
But become dependent.
Go ahead.
You become dependent on stuff. And I like Rachel's comment. When people put selfish wants and greed above humanity and humbleness.
There you go. And that's literally the mainstream media has programmed the youngest few generations to believe that me, and what I can get are the socially acceptable ways of thinking. You're not supposed to worry about the other person. You're supposed to worry about whether or not the other person's getting what they deserve as far as what they want, not whether or not the other person is actually having a fulfilled life or a happy life or a good life or anything like that. You've got to worry about whether or not they're being taken advantage of, because if they're being taken advantage of, then you're taking advantage. I mean, they've all been brainwashed.
Yep.
And they're in our kindergartens. They're in all the way from kindergarten to doctorate school. You've got people brainwashing our people. If we can get our kids, seriously, if you have kids that are getting ready to get out of high school and they can go to a trade school and go to work.
Send them to a trade school.
Send them to a trade school. Do not allow them to go to a university. Don't force them. And if they want to go to the university, let it be their debt, not yours. I know that's, I want my kid to have a better life than me. College. You get out of a 4-year college, how much debt you looking at?
100.
70, 80, 100,000? $100,000. It's going to take you the next 20 years to pay it off or more. Okay. You can go to a trade and you spend $100,000 in 4 years of your life to hook a $35,000 or $40,000 a year job. Right? You can go to a trade school, work part-time while you're in the trade school, get a job in that trade, and you can make 65 to 100 a year. $65,000 to $100,000 a year, getting sweaty and dirty, and have $5,000-$6,000 worth of student loans that you can pay off the first year, which they're not going to like. It's the oil field is full of people that can't speak English because all of the people that can speak English elected to go to college and try to do something besides work for a living. And now they're making, 35, 45, maybe 55 if they're lucky, $1,000 a year. While the guy that went to work when he got out of high school is now making 55, 65, 75, 150, 100. I know one guy's making $150,000 a year.
I know a plumber in London, right? And they have critical shortage of trades over there as well. That plumber pulls 200 to 250,000 pounds a year in pay. At that point, that was $2 to the pound. So that gives you the idea. He was making $400,000 to $500,000 a year being a plumber, because there were not enough plumbers. And so England for quite a while tried, we'll just ship in Polish plumbers. Well, they couldn't ship in enough plumbers from anywhere else in the EU. So, that plumber was making more than most of the people I knew who worked in the square mile, the financial district of London. The big banker boys and girls. And that plumber got more time off. My wife, who was trying to operate in those levels, she was having to work, 18, 19-hour days with her commute and everything else. The plumber just turned his phone off when he was done for the day.
Yeah, the people with the high-end desk jobs, I'm going to be an investment banker. You're on salary, buddy or lady. You're getting 45 a year to do all this work in hopes that you'll get a promotion and that little bonus at the end of the year. The guys and gals that you're trying to push around with the paperwork and numbers and stuff you're throwing out there, all them loans and stuff you're making, those are going to payroll to people that are making twice what you're making. And guess what? They get 14 holidays, paid holidays a year, and they get 2 weeks vacation a year, and they get almost every weekend off. They probably get at least 1 day a weekend off, if not more. So they wind up with 3 and 4 day weekends throughout the year. They get rained out 3 days in a row, and they don't care because they've got several $1,000s in the bank account, and they go buy stuff at Walmart because he's finally got a day off, and he's going to go spend some of his money. What is wrong with the American dream? You work hard, you get paid, you put it in the bank, you buy stuff. That's the American dream. Not you get paid for not working. Which, and don't get me wrong, professional stuff, the corporate jobs, and there's no way I could do that lady's job, not without a lot of ammunition and stuff. But amnesty, I would need amnesty. So yeah, I understand that there's work, but if you're gonna burn yourself out for something like that, want to make some money. I'd give anything to go back and not tear myself all to pieces and be able to start over. I'd pick a trade and stick with it, whether I liked it or not. Because, I make out pretty good right now. I can work part-time and make pretty good money. But I'm at the end of this deal. I'm not looking to be rich, if you will. I just want to make it to I don't get my Social Security check.
I don't know. I had to explain to a friend of mine. You know, he was having a problem trying to understand what success really is, and he's caught up in this whole belief that, you know, I need to make, you know, $500,000, and I need to be able to have a Maserati, and I need to have a 20-year-old girlfriend, and blah 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 blah. It's like, no, dude. Success is having your needs met, being able to get some of the things that you want, and being able to generally live your life the way you want to. Not the way that television has told you you need to live your life, you know, trying to live like a Kardashian or a Jenner or some such crap like that. No, it's just, can you do the general things you want to do? Can you get up and go visit BA if he's given you permission to visit? Can you get up and go visit BA and have a cup of coffee on his porch when you want to? That's success. Can you hang out with Mr. and Mrs. Wes S? Success. You know, being able to go to Barbados, you know, twice a week, kind of stupid.
I don't even know where Barbados is. I've heard about it a lot, though. I think I might want to go once. Being able to drive to Oklahoma and dress up like a Viking. Yes, I'm going to dress like a Viking because it's America and you can. That's success.
You're going to dress like a modern Viking wearing spandex and neon?
No, I'm not. Not a, what do you call it? What's the group with the YMCA? Who did that? Anyway, not one of those Vikings. Yeah, the village, not a village person Viking. How did you know that? Anyway,
because I'm old, Wes. Because I'm old.
Oh, my brother said it for the kitchen too. So but like a Viking, I researched that thing, and it's legal. I asked her. I called the lady. I said, "Can I wear a sword?" She said, "Yes." So yeah, I'm gonna wear Viking clothes and a sword around all day because again, are y'all gonna wear it now? Y'all leaving me stuck out like this. So which one of y'all are gonna go and wear a sword with me?
I gotta see if I can make it out there or not, and I don't think I currently have a sword. So
I'll let you borrow Gimli's. No, that's not Gimli. Dadgummit. Boromir's. I got Boromir's sword up there. I got, it's not a real sword. It's just a display sword, but I got like a sword. It's a big clay, is it Claymore? Claymore mock-up, whatever. It's the big, heavy sword. If anybody tries to sword fight me, the handle's probably going to break off of it.
Frank Burns wants us to go back to 20-year-old girlfriends. I'll let one of you two guys handle that topic.
Let's see. 20-year-old girlfriend is a dangerous and expensive prospect at the least. While you may think you're getting the better end of the deal, you're going to be working yourself to death for somebody else to enjoy it later on. So, no. Unless you're in your 20s, you don't need a 20-year-old girlfriend. That's my take on it. Sure don't need, I don't need more than one wife. Can't imagine getting stabbed twice a day.
If she likes to cook, you can go get another wife.
If she cooks, I can get another one. As long as she likes to cook and clean, I'll put that on Craigslist. If that works for me. I think they call that slavery, though, don't they?
I don't know. I see BA turning red in the picture over there, and just kind of quietly.
I'm just sitting here thinking.
I'm just kind of curious what his subtext is right now with the whole 20-year-old girlfriend thing, and whether or not he's standing in the background of the 12
for a lot of folks out there in general. I would say I think I've had my share of psychopaths and I am very well blessed to have Sippy in my life, and I could not, for the life of me, imagine anything else. I just would just rather be alone forever on an island if I had to, or just with the kids, if I had to choose to move on.
Okay,
Then,
so is it safe to assume that Sippy is standing in the doorway with her pistol?
no, actually, she's not. She knows. She knows.
Hey,
She knows. I think
you're a lucky man, BA. You are a really lucky man. Sippy is the bomb.
Yes.
Great.
No way. I don't want nothing else out there. No, sir. There's
Sippy is
too many crazy bananas.
Sippy is almost as cool as Mrs. West. Just almost.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm not going to get in that cat fight. They're both absolutely
Like that.
She's sitting over there with her pistol, so I ain't making them equal. I don't want to die today. Maybe
Well,
we'll get
Sippy and Mrs. West S. That's kind of like the whole long and the short of it, right? You know.
that was a pretty good short joke. Or short and tall joke. Whatever.
You shouldn't call your wife short, Wes.
I didn't mean to.
Oh man.
Oh. And you're welcome, Sippy.
Yeah, there are some crazy people out there, and I couldn't imagine anyone in this time period right now having to try or trying to date. For folks out there trying to date people and mingle, I could not imagine. It is such a horrible time in the world to try and do any of that stuff. I couldn't imagine. I would not want to endure anything like that. Listening to some people's stories out there of folks they've run into, I'm like, wow, woohoo!
From personal experience, brother, it truly does suck.
It's got to be a horrifying time. I mean, you never know what you're going to run into these days.
Nope.
Jeez Louise.
Although there seems to be a theme that I've encountered, which leaves me scratching my head because it couldn't be further from the truth. And I do know that we have a lot of absolutely fabulous women in our community, and there's a lot of fabulous women in the world. But the ones that keep wanting to go on dates with me look at me as a life support system for a wallet, and that just that ain't the way you're supposed to be looking at that kind of thing.
And for the prepper folks out there, I mean, you're talking in that kind of that realm. If you're going to try and meet folks, because I run into these people all the time there that are trying to find other preppers. If you're trying to find other preppers, stick with other preppers. And if you stick with other preppers and you go to meets and you run into other folks, they probably know a place or know folks. So eventually it's only a matter of time and space, but it'll happen. You know, you'll run into someone along the way, but you're not going to meet them. You're not going to meet them not taking the initiative, right? That kind of thing.
Nope.
It's like I met Sippy online. That's how me and Sippy met, and I had the most wild and crazy profile you could come up with. It didn't make any sense. It wasn't supposed to. I wasn't planning on meeting anyone, so I came up with a bunch of weird stuff to say and just left it there. And she saw my comments and she busted out laughing to herself, and she said, "I have to say something to this guy." And that's how we kicked it off, and that's how we met. We met online, and it was just my goofy comments or whatever that led her to talk to me. But it could happen. I mean, I was looking for someone that had the same interest, right? So, and she had the same interest So
But
it can be done.
Oh yeah.
It can be done. It is possible. So you got to have hope. Don't give up
Oh
for
no,
those people out there looking.
I haven't given up, but I can understand how people do.
So people always ask me this question. Hey, does Sippy have sisters? They're all married. It's like, I'm sorry. She has a lot of sisters, but they're all married.
hey, Mrs. West has a bunch of sisters. If you're interested, Sasquatch.
Yeah, you both warned me off all of it.
No, she warned you off of.
No, you both did.
Oh, I must have been sober. I would like to recant that previous warning because that would be funny to watch from a distance. I mean,
yeah, because you know, I'm just the embodiment of civility and gentleness and kindness, and I have a deep inner monologue. Okay, that's a lie. I have no inner monologue.
if I did that to you, we couldn't be friends anymore because I'd have to hide from you because you would be looking for me to do some serious bodily damage. I don't know. You might like punishment though, so
I may end up looking at you like a Yeti, Wes, and that wouldn't be good.
that wouldn't be good. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, I love her sisters to pieces. Actually, I like one of them. Well, I tolerate two of them. I like one of them, but she lives at home, so she's married.
Smolo is now trying to tell me his mother is single, but wasn't Smolo trying to like sell off one of his daughters to me not too long ago?
Smolo's down there close enough to Cuba. He'll sell you somebody. Might not be his daughter, but
I don't think any of this is going in the right direction. Oh man.
I just got a text, so I need to redirect something in case there's any confusion out here. The meetup that we were chatting up about was Heavener Stone
Park.
Hiking Thingamajigger. It's actually a festival that they're having out of town, but the Squid TJ from the Squid and the Bear are having a Viking meet at the festival on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's a big public deal. If you don't like the group, just walk on. You don't even have to let anybody know you're there for the group. I mean, it's a big open air festival. But if you want to go, you show up looking like a Viking. It's October the 13th and the 14th. It's a Saturday. And
I didn't think they were doing Viking festivals that time of year. I thought the Viking festival was like in.
They do 2 years. They do 2 years, one in April and one in October.
When it's not 1,000,000 degrees there.
Yeah, October.
Oh,
October is actually a pretty nice time to do an outside thing. It can be kind of cloudy and a little cool or whatever, but when you're running around wearing Viking clothes, that's not a bad thing. You know, they weren't exactly.
So Squid and Bear's trying to get me to go to a Renaissance fair.
Well, their part is.
Well, yeah, the pair. Yeah. It's a Viking thing. Hey, his what is it? Homie Biscuits or whatever is making him go. So
Homie biscuits.
that's fair. I think that's what he calls his wife.
He calls her biscuit.
No, I don't think he calls her- it's. I don't know what her like.
My kid brother's name is Biscuit.
But anyway, she's pretty tough. I don't know if I'd like throw any more grief her way than I would Sippy or Mrs. So, anyways, yeah, I'm going, and I have every intention of trying to dress like a Viking just because I can and I want to. I'll be that guy walking around all by himself.
Don't worry, you can just dress yourself in woad and don't even worry about your Viking clothes, Wes. It'll be all right.
I'm gonna.
What could possibly go wrong?
It's not like real bad. It's like a long sleeve shirt that goes down halfway to your knees, and you wear a belt. Come on, it's not that bad. I've checked it out. I'm not gonna like put on the horned helmet and stuff and walk around looking like a warrior or something. I mean, if I had any mail, I might think about that. You know, like chain mail, put it over, put a little yellow hard hat on.
Don't worry, Wes. You look kind of like a modern Floki anyway, so it'll be all right.
I don't. I'm a lousy Viking. I just I pay my $1 a month just so I can be called a Viking. So my family's from the Baltics and from the Americas, and that's it. That's just how it is.
I'm gonna open carry my bow.
I think you get. I think you could. Yeah, think about that. I might check to see if my bow would fall in line with a Viking bow and carry it with me.
I'm gonna
Does
bring
it
my
shoot
bow.
arrows, Wes?
Say again?
Does it shoot arrows? It's probably in line with being a Viking bow then.
Maybe so. But they want you to try to be as authentic as you can. I don't know.
If I get bored, I'm just gonna start shooting at stuff. If someone wants to hold their shield up, I'm gonna put some arrows in it for them.
I used to have a dartboard out there that I was thinking about putting handles on the back so I could carry it around as a shield. But then I figured that would get me kicked to the curb by the missus, so I changed my mind.
I'm beginning to question how advisable it is to wander around with you two mooks at this thing.
It won't be.
You know how they do the trust? You know how they do trust fall? We should do trust arrow.
Yeah.
One of you guys have to hold a shield and let me shoot. And if you got to trust me.
I volunteer Sasquatch.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
It's an apple. Let's use an apple. Apples are way more fun. I'm just kidding. No more apples.
There. I don't know, but anyway, we're actually me and Rob are actually hosting a meetup here in Texas. It's September the 30th. It's a Sunday afternoon. If you email me, and I can do that here.
Why doesn't technology come up with teleporters? I can't just be in different places.
Anyway,
I wish I could.
This is my email, and boom, if you want to go, it's in Texas. It's in the middle of the state. It's going to be in Scurry County. And that's as close as you get until you email me and stuff. Until I get your contact information, that's all you get. So, and I ask that you email me from a less than vague email account. Okay, that's only fair. It doesn't have to give me all your personal information or something. But y'all see my face. I mean, there's anybody that wanted to could find out everything they wanted about me from my YouTube channel. There's nothing. I don't hide very much at all.
And in my case, you can just look at my poster on the post office wall, and you'll find out everything you need to know about me there.
So, but it's our problem that I'm having right now is that one of the only places that had a good place to do it is not in business anymore. Yes, I believe I've emailed you a couple of times trying. But you can drop me another email off that Lincoln if you want to. Link, not Lincoln. And just to make sure. Because it's it's 8 hours from Houston. The location is 8 hours from Houston, and that should tell you everything you need to know about everywhere else. We're doing it here because it's in the middle of the state. We're the same distance from everywhere in the state. It's a little further from the Houston-Galveston area, but that's because of traffic getting out of South Texas. That has nothing to do with mileage. So we are a concealed. Are we concealed or open. I don't even know anymore. Check the gun laws before you show up. Remember, everybody else will be armed also, so don't be a whack job. And everything will be fine. But there's not that I've been able to find out anywhere or find anyway, there's not any kind of real prepper network in the state of Texas at all. So we need that. There are several of them that are closed doors, still stuck in the 70s. And we need some people that are willing to move past that mindset. Or I do. I need people that have matured beyond that. That's something. BA, what do you think would be an appropriate mindset for a prepper? I mean, like, do you think the militant version, the lone wolf version, or the plan to rebuild version? I mean, or a combination of all of those. What do you think would be the appropriate mindset for a prepper, a potentially successful prepper?
Well, I would say now preppers, when I hear the term prepper, I think, glorified hoarder. I don't like to think prepper. I don't like, most people I talk to are not preppers. They're something else. And I wouldn't call them survivalist, because now survivalist mentality, you think of worst case scenarios, rubbing sticks together, that kind of weirdness. So that's the survivalist mentality, is thinking of every single angle of, I mean, they're thinking, shock troopers falling from the sky, or stockpiling ammo, focused on guns, focused on blades, gear related stuff, focused on stockpiling freeze dried foods and stuff. But then you have people that are focusing on seeds, homesteads, gardening, not just gardening. I'm talking crops. It's more like a crop than a garden. I mean, it's beyond garden. And you got folks that are concerned about milk, making their own cheese. Like me, making wine, making mead, stuff like that. Variety of stuff, making your own breads. And then you've got folks out there that dabble in stuff. They're online, they chat, they're aware, and they dabble in stuff. They don't go deep into it. They sort of dabble in it. They have a few things of food that they've canned. They have a few things of water. They have a few things of this and that and the other thing. They might have one shotgun, one rifle, and one pistol, and just enough ammo for all three. And so there's different varieties of this. There's some that don't even own guns at all. They don't believe in it. They focus more on air rifles. They focus more on archery or slingshots. Believe it or not. I mean, it's true story. When it comes to weaponry. And then you got folks that don't focus on any of that at all, period. And they focus more on the home and hacks for their home, and the basic skills of life off the grid. They focus more on that than they do security and other stuff out there. So there is a variety, and the best way to be, if there is a prepper category, is to try. Um, I mean, because we talk about OPSEC, we talk about all sorts of stuff, and we talk about paranoia, this and that, and then some folks will get to the point that they're just a shut in. They don't talk to folks at all, and you got to get to a point of not being carefree hippie, running around giving everybody hugs, but you know, being able to talk to folks, but being secure about it at the same time. Security and being able to communicate. So you got to have both, and uh, but you got to have the wide range, a full picture. You can't have um, you can't have just one type of thing. I'm going to focus on just the skills for survival, and it's just you doing it, and it's not a group doing it, and you're going to find yourself having to teach a group later if you're not teaching a group now. So the type of mindset you want to have, uh, it's the bottom line, survival mindset. So you've got uh, you want to have food caches for when the crops don't come in. So for the people that don't believe in keeping food stockpiled, that they believe that the garden is life and I have a garden and that's what I do, you know, you still, people who garden still stockpile food. They just don't do it as bulky as most folks do. They don't have the root cellar with tons of varieties of different, and but you got to have both. You got to prepare for the worst case scenario. You can't just think that, well, if all else fails, I'm going to do this. Well, that plan was to start growing, start building, and things like that. You got to have something to fall back on in an emergency. You can't get outside. You can't go outside. You're going to be stuck inside your home, and folks tend to think that, well, in disaster, I'm going to go hunt. Not when all the wild game is gone. The Great Depression, I tell everybody all the time, I repeat myself when I say, look, Great Depression, deer went almost extinct. Right now, I mean, I can go in my backyard every morning and I've got like 6 to 8 deer in my backyard. But in SHTF, those 6 to 8 deer won't be there anymore. All of them are going to be killed off. All of them are going to be gone. So you've got to think, and survivalist mentality, the survivalist will think of all those types of things. So you've got to be a I guess more like a survivalist prepper mixed with homesteading. So you got to have it all. You can't just have uh, you can't be focused or tunnel visioned in one thing, and you can't just be tunnel visioned in one type of disaster. So you can't just think, well, if you're preparing for an earthquake, then prepare for an earthquake, but also prepare for shock troopers. You know, prepare for all of it. Whatever could happen is possible. Murphy's law, right? If you're preparing for martial law, prepare for a full scale invasion. uh, so the only way I can say to look at it is don't just dabble in one thing. Try to be very diverse. Redundancy, man. Have a backup to the backup to the backup. Plans fail. Plans always fail. Um, Rules of engagement, always change. Your plan for your plan will always go backwards. I'm going to hide behind this car, and then come to find out they have a 50 BMG and they're shooting through the car. So So I'm just saying, plans fail. I guess I'm just kind of babbling on this subject now.
Yeah.
But a mindset or a type of style or any of that, I wouldn't classify it as just a prepper. None of you are just preppers, and you're not just stockpiling a bunch of junk in your home. It's more than that. You're grabbing that very useful book that you've already read, because you don't wait till the apocalypse to read it. Um, you know, you're gonna be focused on things that I want to know, the how-tos, right? So I collect books, how to do anything, right? And I try to collect books, and I know I can't take all of them with me, but I know if I'm seeking knowledge and there's no more people to talk to, because for some reason I end up alone and it's just the family, right? If I end up in a remote location somewhere and it's just the family, it's just us, then I want to have his muff to be able to dig into to get the knowledge I'm seeking. So I do books, and because I know toilet forever, there's no more factories making that. There's things. I mean, a lot of you're not going to have stores to go to anymore, so you got to think of that. And so I try to focus on they're not making that stuff anymore. Anytime I look at something in my house, I imagine it not being able to buy more of it. It's gone forever, And what am I going to do? How am I going to live with that once that item's gone forever? That's like batteries, right? You've used every one of them. Even the rechargeable ones won't recharge anymore. They won't hold a charge. You can't buy any more of them. They're gone for good. What am I going to do without batteries? Solar panels, batteries. They run off they charge batteries. How long do rechargeable batteries for solar panels last? Where am I going to get batteries to replace all those batteries? Nowhere. What am I going to do about solar panels?
It's stuff like
Can I still use them?
that.
Can I still use them? Absolutely not. Your electronic pumps that pump water, things like that. Can I still use that when the grid's down? When my solar quits working? No, you're not. None of that stuff's going to be there to help. It's just like the government won't be there, right? None of that stuff's going to be there anymore. And you got to imagine it being gone. Vehicles, gone. All this stuff, gone. Cutting the grass. How are you going to cut grass so you have a walkable location? You're just going to push it down with 2x4s? Or are you still going to cut grass? Are you going to cut little paths and stuff to get around things? Grass is going to grow, You get to thinking about, I mean, for my area anyways, I mean, I don't know what it's like for you where you're at, but I think about weird stuff like that. And I think about it not being there anymore. You can name anything. Think about its expiration. How long will it continue to operate before it fails? When the grid goes down, when everything stops, the industrial motor stops running, the industry shut down. I try and think of that aspect of it, and that's my mindset. So
Yeah, and
that's me sharing.
Take like a really a totally, right now, I mean, people can't afford to spend money for gas for their lawnmower in Venezuela. I mean, if they got money and they're buying gas, I guarantee you it's not going to mowing the lawn, or if they've got money and they need gas, it's going to their car. It's not going to the lawnmower. That I have to prevent myself from thinking about all of that and just focus on, okay, I know that's a possibility. What can I do for me to make it so I don't have to sweat not having batteries, not having, being able to mow the grass or, drive my car or whatever. It's, you can like wear yourself out trying to think of all the possibilities. That's why I am trying to figure out, or well, not figure out, but teach myself to do things the way they would have done it prior to all these wires running up and down the highway. If I can make it without electricity, then I can make it. You know what I mean? And that's where, and it doesn't have to be an EMP or a mass coronal injection or anything. A pandemic would take.
It could be a government collapse. The collapse of the power grid could happen many ways. It could be pandemic, epidemic. This goes on and on of the different things that could cause something like that to happen. And, people stop showing up to work, because they're sick and they're dead. I mean, you're not going to just spit out another engineer, You need an engineer to operate this or operate that. Well, if he ain't showing up to work no more. Billy got sick. Billy can't come to work. And Billy's the only person that can operate this stuff. Where are you going to find another one? I mean, several years of college and whatnot to get someone schooled up, you ain't replacing that. It's gone forever. And I mean, you can sit around the house and look at every single item in your home that's not going to work anymore. What are you going to do with it when it stops working? What are you going to turn your electric oven into? Your electric oven, is it going to become the next smoker? You're going to just pull that tray out of the bottom and build a fire underneath it and shove it back in there and use it as a glorified smoker? You got racks in there. I mean, I get to thinking about weird stuff like that. Am I going to carry my oven outside my yard and turn it into a smoker? Or
with the vents you have off
smokehouse oven.
With the vents you have off your oven, you can actually do that in your house. It's a bit of a trick, but you can actually make that smoker right in your house.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I try to transform everything in my head as something else. Like, what am I going to do with that coffee pot? Like, it just became, I'm sitting in my kitchen right now, actually. My coffee pot just became a glorified water carrying device, I guess, a big pot, or the KitchenAid dough stirring doodad. I have no idea what that thing's called, but that thing's got a really nice stainless steel pot to it I could still use. The microwave oven. What could the microwave oven become?
A Faraday.
A box. A box in. I could probably put stuff in it.
It's a Faraday.
Easy access. Yes, I push the button and I use my broken microwave for a bread box. I mean, I think it's the best thing ever. I mean, it's just a nice little bread box to keep all my bread in.
Yeah.
See where this is going?
You better figure out how to bake your bread without your oven. I mean, there's, this whole best thing since sliced bread. Guess what? The wires go down. There's not going to be any more sliced bread. And I'm going to do this real quick, kind of change the subject some. For those of you who did not pay attention in Smolo's hour-long video, y'all missed the opportunity to win like the coolest pin ever. This is I won a giveaway from Smoking Locust. I got my own personal space pin. This thing, I would read all the cool stuff to you, but that would make y'all jealous. The thing will like write at negative 32 degrees or 34 degrees Celsius or something like that. And at like 200 degrees Celsius, it'll still write. I mean, this thing writes. It writes good too. It's like cool. It's like the smoothest pen I've ever wrote with. But anyway, this is what you get when you pay attention to people's videos. Then sometimes people don't make it easy on you. But anyway, Smolo, thank you. This is super cool. I've been trying to figure out a way to throw it in here ever since we started, but there it is. Not to mention you got to see lots of cool space shuttle stuff and everything. So there's my bragging's done or whatever. You got anything to add to any of this prepper stuff there, Sasquatch? Mr. D Sasquatch?
Well, BA is, I think our current reigning expert in a lot of that area. I agree with his mindset though on the taking an approach to prepping. At least for myself personally, I kind of come from the school of philosophy of we don't know the day and the hour, and I think that we can take that straight as it is from the book, but I think that also applies out in the secular world. Very rarely do you get hit by the threat that you're paying attention to. Generally, you get hit by the threat you don't know about. Yes, you got a copy, Wes. Good deal. Good deal, man. Now we got to get you turned on to the Zephyr next as well.
Yeah, I got that much money. Yeah, but I'm working on it.
But, it could be anything, and it may not be national, right? BA and I could be sitting around minding our own business, doing our own thing here, and a hypothetical local chemical plant explodes. The rest of you are fine. Life is going to suck for people like BA, Sippy, their kids, and I, and the Beast, and what have you, until we either get out or whether or not we have things prepared. You could have a range fire, I suppose, down your range, Wes, and if there's enough stuff that has grown recently and a fire catches, that could be a living hell down there.
Springtime is going to be harsh around here because it's raining in the late part of the season. Again, all the grass is going to come up and then it's going to die, and it's just going to sit there until the lightning comes in the springtime.
Yep. We could be hit by a national event. We could be hit by a global event. We don't know. I kind of think taking a holistic approach is the best option you can do. I am a lousy example of that because I've been pretty much operating almost solo for quite a long time, or with a very small group. And there's only so much I can do, and there's only so much I can figure out, and only so much I can do in the course of a day. But any preparation is going to be preferable to none. I hear people, and rightfully so, you'll hear the people will comment about the armchair warriors, right? The people that have read all of the, fill in the blank doomsday books, Lights Out, Taps Out, whatever, Long Way Home, Road Home. I'm butchering titles here, but you guys get the idea. And I can understand why people mock people like that. But if that's used as a method to get someone into beginning to think and understand about preparing for things, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Hopefully, if they're reading good authors, they're going to be getting lessons out of those books, whether they know it or not. But I think trying to go the holistic approach is probably the best route to go. Take the old Boy Scout motto: be prepared. Can we say that anymore? Because I know the Boy Scouts have changed a lot since my day and age. But
we don't call them the Boy Scouts anymore. They're just the Scouts. They're gender neutral now.
Okay, so they didn't turn into something cool like the Sea-Loo Scouts. They turned into...
There might be some singing with all them there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about the Girl Scouts. Are they going to go the same route and just be the Scouts? I don't know. Are we still going to get cookies?
Well, I hope so, because sometimes those things, they hit a craving that you get at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2.5 years after you bought the box. It's like, oh, must have a Girl Scout mint cookie.
Yeah.
But by the way, hello, Revolting Man. Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I asked him if he wanted to be in here, and he didn't answer me.
Wow. You try and hook him up, whether or not he's got someplace with a stable connection right now. I don't know where he's at. He could be at a super secret location where he's having to use a sat link.
Probably. Sorry.
I took my initial thoughts on I'm providing trying to provide emergency supplies from the Mormon books that covered that. That was through a combination of knowing some people from that faith, and then also being hooked into kind of by accident stumbling into the Avow network, which is a Mormon preparedness network that they have, bulletin boards and what have you. But they have some really good guides for how to, practically go about doing this, because a tenet of their faith, from my understanding, and I could be horribly wrong, as I often am, is to maintain, at least a year's supply of foodstuffs. And I had learned more about how to do that before I ever, got tuned in to YouTubian land and being able to watch all the great documents or the great videos that are out there. Pastor Joe Fox, PA's videos, a lot of other people's. And I've kind of branched out from there. I mean, both you and your missus and BA and Sippy can also attest to the fact that I am kind of a gear whore. I just have collected odd bits and bobs from over the years, and being raised in a pretty poor environment when I was young. If something works, keep it. So I don't necessarily hoard, but I do have a big old stack of old mil-spec from here in the UK that is laying around just waiting for that perfect moment to be used. BA's probably laughed at me a couple of times when he's been over here at the house. I don't know if he's seen the hidden piles of some of that stuff that are around.
It's all jacked up. Okay.
I saw one closet that was like full. That count?
Yeah. And I don't think I could carry my old 8110 bag anymore, which is the giant Caramore SF bag that I have, that is a rucksack that's basically my size. But, I'm pretty sure I can get half the house into it if I have to carry it. At which point BA will find me dead about 3 blocks down the street from a heart attack. But
just pack it round and then just roll out your front door, and you'll wind up down at his house. Just you'll roll there, and as long as you can steer clear of the trees. That where y'all are at, and the internet was out. Now it rained out. Okay, so I watched the Return of the King or whatever. And when they're looking down from the mountain, and you can see the cutback, and the guy's riding up on the horse, and it's just like that's what y'all streets look like. It's scary over there.
Yeah, it is pretty wacky over here. Little bitty roads, tiny little roads.
All right. You can find your way now, right? I'm like, no, because y'all like took every time y'all go somewhere, you take 20 different routes. It's like y'all never the same route twice.
There's cut roads that go all over the place. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry I was meandering and answering you there, Wes, but there you go.
No, that's fine. That's what this is all about.
Too many blows to the head. I suffer that. So I talk kind of like my own grandfather, which is kind of
okay.
Trust me, I'm sitting here going brain dead on everything my own self. I don't even know how long we've been yakking in here. Does anybody know?
That I don't.
Oh, and Penny.
Almost 2.5 hours.
Oh, what? God, these people are long-winded. Does anybody in the side chat have any questions? Oh, come here, dog. He's got a cat. The puppy is not getting along with any of the big dogs. It's really sad. Well, the big dogs aren't getting along with the puppy. They're all jealous. Nobody has any questions. People are starting to back out. Hey, Revolting, how's life with you over there and stuff? Hope we didn't ignore you until you left. Oh, he was saying hi to everybody. Yeah, you gotta like do it in. Anyway, I guess if nobody's got any, Rob Panis has a question. What is your question, Robert? Sir Robert of the North. The one that you were on top of with no handrail and the top of it was going like boingy, boingy, boingy? You ain't get started. I'll be there in a minute. I promise.
Yeah, I'm about to get off here.
Don't you know anything about gravity? Anyhow, that's the 2.5 hours, guys. I never expected it to go this long, but this was fun. This is a good way to spend the night.
Yeah, I got to get off here.
Everybody, we want y'all to know we appreciate you stopping in. And those of you that got here late or whatever, you're welcome to go back. You can fast forward to the parts where nothing good was happening once you figure out what those are.
Generally, when I was talking.
No, actually, we all had a lot of really good stuff to talk about. I mean, this was good.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about.
This was like we were all just sitting at the table talking. This is how it works. So, if anybody wants to go to the Texas meetup, I'm gonna put my email in here one more time.
And if you're in Eastern Tennessee, we're having our next meet this Thursday night. Go to my YouTube page, and you can get to one of my email contacts and drop me a note if you haven't already. Also, there is going to be a large prepper event up in Kentucky, evidently, first week in November. The Prepper Bunker Outdoors, I believe, is the channel where you can probably get the information directly on that. I haven't had time to share that with BA or Wes yet, but I will try and get that contact information out.
Oh, you're crazy. Crazy woman.
Anyway, there's my email and the date and the basic location. Y'all, Iris, if you'll get a hold of, or if you'll, what do you call it, subscribe to Sasquatch, he's going to keep up with all that stuff for us. So you can comment on any of his videos and he'll get to you. So that's, I'm putting him on the line there again, but that's kind of the way it's supposed to work. Anyway, y'all, thanks for dropping by. Thanks for hanging out with us. God bless. Y'all stay alive, don't die. So,
Night, y'all.
Power to the people, right arm.
Anyway, night. Love y'all. Okay, later.